I have done a lot of building in the past few days. I think it's time for me to go do literally anything else. We have some jungle temples to go explore, loot, and partially destroy for the redstone. Of course, these are not your vanilla jungle temples. They're actually from the Young's Better Jungle Temple mod, which is so amazing because it adds a lot of puzzles and traps, and they're so fun to explore. Now, I am going to take full advantage of the fact that I have the Waystones mod enabled, because the closest one is 4,000 blocks away, and I have found 5 of them. So we might have to do a little bit of prep first. The first thing I decided to do? Make a backpack specifically for picking up the redstone components. The thing about these temples is that they're so overflowing with redstone that they use observers as decorational blocks. So I intend to take full advantage of that. I also really need to make sure I brought my Silk Touch pickaxe with me. These are very heavily infested with silverfish, and having Silk Touch is great for that. Plus, Quark's runic etching makes it a lot easier to tell which one's which. And finally, the last thing on my list was to make some warp scrolls. These are a feature of the Waystones mod. They're honestly not even that expensive either, but they're very useful for one-way teleporting to a Waystone. Since I'm going to be so far out, it's going to make getting home so much easier and so much less painful. That being said, let's go ahead and get going. So these are actually quite big, as a vanilla one is maybe the size of this top section, and there's even more underground. So they're actually quite pretty, and I think it maybe could be cool to try to renovate one of these into a secondary base. But for now, we're gonna just see what we can find inside. It's a lot more tightly packed than you'd expect. Okay, I at least noticed this one before. I walked into so many of these last time I did one of these. Haha. I'm fine with this. Especially the bombs. You have to be really careful. I've accidentally killed myself with several of those. One thing I really appreciate about these is that they're randomly generated, so you don't really know what you're gonna get when you walk in. And it's a fun adventure every time. Ooh. What is that? Hang on. This feels like a trap. One I'm gonna fall for. Surprisingly not. That was just there. Okay. Alright. I was right. I had to... Hang on. Oh, it's one way. Interesting. I am so curious as to how they've done this. Ah! Okay, they got me. They got me. Oh, that's cool actually. I like that a lot. Okay, anyway, as far as the parkour puzzles, I'm going to give them an honest try. But I can't guarantee I'm gonna actually be able to do it. Haha. Not a difficult one, but okay. I think you might see the problem here. Don't ask me why I tried to just run past that. I don't know. Watch for holes. Okay, I knew that was there. That's all it is. Ooh, I recognize this one. Okay. So, we are now at the door. Technically, if I didn't care about cheating with this, I could just remove those blocks. Now, they are infested, so you might want Silk Touch. you won't actually get the blocks as infested, but they won't drop silverfish. However, I'm gonna actually do the puzzles as they're intended, just because I like doing it that way, even if I struggle with them. A lot. This particular puzzle is actually really simple. You just have to get across the post to get to the little platform so you can hit the note block, and if you hit both sides, the door opens. The problem is the parkour. Now, I'm not saying parkour as a concept in Minecraft is the problem. I'm saying I'm the problem because I'm terrible at it. I have been trying to get better at it. I would love to blame outside things like lag or a bad keyboard. I mean, admittedly, I was playing with a bad keyboard. It had a very crunchy control key, and I mean that quite literally, and a fairly unresponsive spacebar. Funnily enough, I was actually waiting for delivery of my now new keyboard while I was recording this. It's so much nicer. I'm not any better at parkour for it, but it's nicer. I did go into this telling myself I would give myself 5 attempts, and then if I didn't get it, I would just block up and cheat. And then I didn't, because I kept getting just close enough that it became a point of pride to just do it properly. This does mean that I think to get both sides, there were probably close to 30 attempts in just this room, and this is not the only room I got stuck in. I was here for about 5 minutes. This isn't even the worst one. But I got it eventually, and it was so much more satisfying to do it that way. Haha. It only took me like 10 minutes, it's fine. Alright. So now that I've got that, some of these are easier than others. Some of them are just feed the statue something. If it's the one I think it is, this one's a little mean. Yep, it's the water one. Instantly fills the room and tries to trap you in it. Anyway, it is now time to actually start taking redstone. The only problem is this room is now filled with water. Now, ideally, if you were going to go in with redstone, you would probably disarm the trap before setting it off, but that was a little less fun. So, I'm not really showing off the mod and all the structures if I immediately disarm all of the traps first. Oh my gosh, that's so many buckets. Okay, just from that one room alone, this is what we have. I am not done. These guys are not going to waste. Trust me. Okay. So after that, only one comparator? Really? Just one? What was that used for? Okay, so it did seem like it mostly used repeaters, which, if I remember correctly, you don't actually need quartz for. You need quartz for a comparator. Admittedly, they're a little more advanced, so it kind of makes sense. I guess now it's time to go to a different one. The thing about visiting so many of these at once is I'm bound to get repeats in the rooms. I also don't really want to spoil all of them, so if you try this mod out, you can have some things to explore for yourself. That being said, I am going to pick up the pace a bit and may be skipping a lot more of this as we go through. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Ooh, wait, hang on. Okay. So if you look up above, you can see chiseled stone brick and cobblestone. If I remember correctly, you have to follow a line of chiseled stone brick, or that happens. At this point, it's a matter of just getting across the room, which may be easier said than done. Oh, I messed up. I somehow did not get shot. I don't know how I didn't get shot. Okay. A lot of this required patience and concentration. But I did eventually get to the other side with only one incident. It looks like I should be able to go all the way here. Okay. That was fun. Thankfully, the treasure room puzzle for this one was not parkour related, so I had a much easier time. This is one of the more complicated puzzles in these, but I had a fairly easy time with it. I also really appreciated the effect that happens when you actually solve it correctly. Once I had both sides solved, it was just a matter of figuring out what kind of trap was in the treasure room. What is this? Oh, I honestly have absolutely no idea what this room is gonna do to me. Oh! Lovely. Not at all what I was expecting. Lingering potions of poison. That's a fun one. The third temple may have had a little bit of a tricky start for me. Off to a great start. I said I would give this a few honest tries before resorting to cheating. I may have gotten a little stuck in this room. I did get close a few times though. Hey, oh! Oh, now it's a matter of pride. I almost made that. No, obviously if you wanted to just bypass this, you just need a couple blocks. I'm trying to not do that for whatever reason. I did it! The rest of this temple was maybe a little less eventful. Oh, there we go. Oh! Okay. What kind of trap are you gonna set? Ooh. Did nothing happen? Oh! Well, that's a pleasant surprise. Anyway, on to the next one. I was maybe a little less lucky when it came to the fourth temple. This particular room was a little rough for me. I got stuck in here for over 8 minutes. The actual trap is simple. All you have to do is just jump over the pressure plates and not step on them. The consequence of stepping on one of the pressure plates is that you get shoved into a pit of spikes. Said spikes are from the Supplementaries mod, which is one of the compatibilities that the Jungle Temple mod has. I believe if you didn't have it installed, it would just be dripstone, which may be a little easier to deal with. These kind of trap you and injure you, similar to how a berry bush would, but a little more intense. I actually got close to dying in this several times, and I even busted out a little bit of regen potion that I have from all of the ancient cities I've visited, because I was struggling a little bit. At some point, and this may have caused me a lot of problems, I decided to actually take off my armor because I was worried about the spikes breaking it. I do have mending on 2 pieces of my armor, the chest plate and the pants. I don't have mending on anything else because it's a little tough to get mending when you don't have villagers, and I haven't found any more mending books. It's a good thing I had a lot of that regen potion with me and I had a lot of food, because I took so much damage. Thankfully, after many attempts, and I don't even know how much damage, I finally made it across. That counts. That counts. That was mean. Thought I was about to accidentally blow something up. What was that? Did that just try to drop? Oh my gosh. How did I just get past that? What do you need? Oh, there we go. Hey! It's this one. I recognize this one. Yeah, this one could get pretty dangerous if you're not expecting it, but thankfully it doesn't fill the room the way the water one does. I don't think they can retract it. This is a slight problem, isn't it? Luckily for me, the last temple was very uneventful. There we go. Oh, how nice of it. It gave us the safe room. Watch me somehow be wrong. Oh, that would be a fun little treat, wouldn't it? Thankfully, that was not the case. So now that I have gone through and gotten a ton of redstone, it's time to cause some chaos. I'm gonna go down to the treasure chamber and see how many silverfish I can spawn. So, hopefully I don't die. If I do, I guess I spawn back here. Things started off a little slow. Yeah, oh, I missed some. I did. I should have set this up first. Oh, that could have been so bad. I'm also really trusting that they're not going to fall out of the ceiling. Things ramped up once I got quite a few and started using the sword. Oh, here we go. Now the cascade's happening. Oh no, 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 no. Ah! Oh no, I got stuck. Oh no. Oh boy, there's a lot of them. Oh no. Yeah, I might be here for a bit. This is gonna take a while. There's so many. I'm probably gonna just leave. I'm gonna just do a little teleportation back home. 'Cause it's starting to get really awful to listen to. I'm glad to be home. That was starting to sound absolutely awful. Anyway, so now that we're back home, we have a ton of redstone and some loot that I'm excited to have. Maybe not so excited to have to sort through. But yeah. That is going to be it for today. Next time you see me, I'm going to be working a little bit more on the base. I just have to decide if that means working on the storage room or maybe working on some machines first. I guess we'll find out later. Bye!